Hi, future scientists. Welcome back. It's Dr. Abby, and we've got a beautiful day here in Atlanta. So it's a super day to spend some time outside. The first thing I noticed when I stepped outside today, I noticed with my ears. So I'm going to be quiet for a second. Do you hear all those wonderful bird calls? The birds are out, they're enjoying this beautiful day too. They're all talking back and forth in each of their own specific songbird cycles so that they can talk to other members of their species. And it's an important time right now for them to be talking too because they're all out there looking for a mate so that they can build a nest and start a family of their own. Now, I keep saying the word species because that is the way that we differentiate between different types of birds. And that comes from a bigger, broader type of classification system that's fancy name is called taxonomy, that was developed by a scientist named Linnaeus back in the 1700s. That's over 300 years ago, as he attempted to kind of try to order or categorize the natural living world around us. What's also great about taxonomy is that it gives us a way to communicate with scientists and people from other countries because it's all written in a very specific universal language called Latin. So even if you're from the United States and you want to communicate with a scientist from India, you guys are able to talk together because of the Latin names for these different animals. Now, the taxonomy system is pretty large. It starts all the way up top with kingdoms. The one that we'll talk about today is Animalia, but there's also Plantae, fungi, etc. There's 5 total. And as you make your way through those classifications, you get kind of narrow and narrower and narrower until you get down to that very specific species that you're talking about. So there's kind of 7 groupings. There's kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So today I thought would be a great day to talk about the class Aves, A-V-E-S, and that's the class that all the different birds of the world fall under. So I thought a good assignment for us to do this week would be to 1, step outside and listen for how many different types of songbird sounds that you're able to hear, and then to use your eyes. So even in the past couple minutes that I've been standing outside, I've already seen and identified 3 different bird species. Flying way up ahead in the sky, I saw a turkey vulture. I also saw a pair of 2 circling red-shouldered hawks, and then I saw a cardinal. Actually, I saw 2 cardinals. I saw a pair. I saw a boy cardinal who is bright red, and then I saw a girl cardinal who is more brown, so that when she has her nest, she's better camouflaged so predators don't see her or the nest. And what I thought would be neat is that you guys could listen for those different sounds, maybe write down the number of different bird songs you hear, then look with your eyes, maybe on a walk tonight or this afternoon, seeing if you can find a couple different types of birds. And then maybe we'll go ahead back to our research and try to find the genus and the species. And if you want to be really fancy, you can also maybe identify the family. So for instance, the red-shouldered hawks that I saw, they are in the family Falconidae, falcon, okay? So all the birds that kind of have those shapes are going to fall into that same category. All of the songbirds typically fall into the family Passeriformes, which are perching birds. So they're defined by the way that they sit. They sit on with their little feet curled around a branch, a twig, etc., to perch. The very, very best time to listen for bird songs is actually at dawn. So if you really want to be super bird watchers, and if you can convince your parents that it sounds like a super fun idea, you guys can look to see what time dawn is in your part of the country. And you can set your alarm for just a little bit before, because we don't have to dress up to go to school right now. So you could theoretically just step outside your door in your PJs. And if you wake up at that time, you're probably going to hear the maximum number of different bird songs out there. So I hope you guys enjoy that little assignment. and identify those different birds, and think while you're doing that about what makes each one of those bird species unique. Is it the way that they procure their food? So what I always find really fascinating is with seabirds in particular, so birds that live by the ocean or eat their food out of the sand or perhaps even the mud along a riverbank. Each of them have very different types of beaks that fit with the way that they procure their food. So some have very long, pokey beaks, so they can stick them down into holes to get very tiny, tiny little crustaceans or insects out. Some will have big bucket shapes, like the pelican has that big bucket shape, so he can dive down and scoop out fish with his big bucket. There are egrets, so look into all of those different types of bird shapes that make each one of them unique, and appreciate the beautiful sounds and the diversity, which means the many, many different types of birds that make up our environment. Because birds are everywhere. They're not just in backyards with trees and plants. There are also going to be birds in the cities. There are going to be birds in the meadows. There's going to be birds in the deep, deep forests. So everywhere you look, you are going to be able to find bird species. But again, what beautiful, beautiful sounds they sing, each one of them unique. And this is an interesting time in the world right now where there's not that many cars or traffic that drowns out the sound of those birds. So this may be one of the best times in your life for when you are right around your house to be able to hear and appreciate all of those bird species. You guys stay healthy, stay well, keep having fun, keep learning. There's such a beautiful world out there for you guys to explore. As always, you're doing awesome. Keep up the great work.